something like that. Okay. Moving on with the first speaker of today, is Bego Rencontre. And we speak about the regulation of short and long term.
Good morning. We're going to talk about rates and traditional rate emission coming from short and long term record. So, first, the rates of gamma ray bars have been calculated assuming that short gamma ray bars are originated in binary neutron stars and long GRPs are originated in single events, like one the work of partially. But now the recent work of ADL has given some evidence of that short gamma ray bars and long gamma ray bars originate in binary systems. Therefore, we can we have a relation between gamma ray bars and gravitational waves coming from binary. For this, we analyze the ranking of these systems as composed of three different regimes: the fire regime, the merger, and the plunge, and the spin down. So this is the diagram for the model we use for the gamma ray bursts progenitors. So for short gamma ray bursts, we have a neutron star and a neutron star black hole merger. And for long gamma ray bursts, that is called the induced gravitational collapse, we have a supernova going in the pole, undergoing a supernova and a neutron star. So these are the families you know. Now we begin with the analysis of the first part of the file. So we use the classical quadruple emission formula that power the rate of change of the orbital energy is due to the gravitational wave radiation. And in this adiabatic writing, we can review the gravitational wave frequency that is shown in equation 2. And the behavior is governed by the Shearman, that is that fine combination of the masses of the binary and the T in the coefficient sum. So, the adiabatic conditions are satisfied up to the last stable orbit, where the angular frequency is given by 3. So we can use all the quadruple formulas up to this point. And it's very important for the detection analysis, the gravitational wave spectrum that goes as the frequency in by 1/3 and is also governed by the shear mass. Now, when we pass the last stable orbit, we cannot use formally the quadruple formula, so it has to use another formula. So for this part we use the work of this particular point of black hole, and where the behavior is, we can define the behavior using the Solili potential that is shown 5, and there is a peak, frequency peak in the and it is known that the peak of the branch where the down is bigger than the frequency of the last stable of this These are the plots of the particle forming black hole, partial black hole. You can see that the peak of the potential is near the light range and is near the maximum of the gravitational wave emission. The third part is the blank where the particle is almost polarized into the black hole and the merger, and then the way down of the black hole. But so the spectrum in the first part raises as a power law, and then it falls to formation. So we can estimate the energy emitted with this part as shown in the equation 10. But
we hear you, Sarah. You okay, but there was nobody here. And call everybody else.
Energy and the frequency can be shifted, this frequency can be shifted, and also the energy in this part. It's shown in this part. Also, we can estimate the angular momentum related to this part of the wave. Now, but all the discussion was done for this particle, but we have in the merger of the neutron stars, we have our two black holes, we have comparable masses. So we are inspired in our work of Anino, Holmes, and Margaret, where they have shown that the numerical result of ground collisions, black hole collisions, are really close to an analytical formula. So it's practically we make the statement that the mass of is substituted by the reduced mass and the black of the black hole with total mass. So we extrapolate the formulas of linear equations and for the background to the rating of the comparable mass. And we obtain that the energy and the total are the same only in this particular. And with this, we analyze the first gravitational wave protection for and we, using the spectrogram, we can obtain the shear mass. Remember that the first part is dominated by the shear mass, and we have obtained that the shear mass is around 30 solar masses. And also estimate, we make an estimation of the energy in this first part. And with the shear mass, we compute a lower limit of the mass. The lower limit is 30 solar mass. Now, we need with the frequency of the normal mode, so that the frequency with the ring down begins, we can estimate the total mass of the black hole, the final black hole, using the area. And we also, with energy conservation, we have equation. So we have two equations and two unknowns, the mass and the normalized spin of the black hole. And solving this system, we can obtain the mass of the final black hole and the spin. And with this, we can obtain also, so we have the symmetric, the shear mass, we can obtain the symmetric mass rating. With symmetric mass ratio, we obtain the mass ratio and we obtain the components of the values. What are the results? The results are that using this approach, we obtain that the shear mass is 30 or rarely reported by LIGO is 30.2. The total mass is also close. The mass and also the speed. All are very close. So now for the compiler, right, we work for a binary black hole. In the binary verse, we have different stars, or different black holes. We need to modify the approach. So the first modification is that maybe the system doesn't go to the last stable orbit, but the spiral writing ends before, because the two stars touch. And we propose at the final point of the spiral, the collision point, and the frequency is shown in equation 27. And then for the energy spectrum, the Planck generator, we make estimation as the total energy divided by the potential frequency, and we estimate that the energy in second phase is equation 30. And now for the normal mode of the system, we have division because
10 o'clock means you must relocate to the left for you and for the other people. And for Ivan and the other people, you must be really lost your mind.
And with this, we can estimate the spectrum, and with this spectrum, we can also complete the signal technology that we define the short screen. But we don't know the exact position and the position of the binary. It's usually used to make an average over this horizontal section, and we have the equation verified that we take characteristics of strength. So these characteristics strength and with this also we can include a intro to data detection. So this signal is equal to 8. And therefore we have like a maximum detection system for the gravitational wave orbit. Now, but this corresponds to the most optimistic case where the binary is just above and the binary is far is the so, but this is very optimistic. So, we have to estimate what fraction of binaries are inside a sphere of units of radius of the horizon. And this fraction determines the true number of the binaries that can be added. And this fraction is shown in parameterized with the range of the vector that is defined as the fraction times the realization of the orbit. Now with this number, you can estimate the number of annual detection of binaries with the test volume, with this ratio, and also with the study time. So this is like summary for the characteristics of the gamma record. So for programmable classes, we have we use the mode, the closest gamma ray class that have been detected, that is like 500 megaparsec, and the gravitational wave horizon is 100, so it's not special. So you can see that always the gravitational capture gamma ray burst. So it's not detectable. Also, we have the plot of the characteristic trend and the detector sensitivity curve, no? So as you can see, only ultra short gamma ray bursts, but black point stuff, and you can say that all the detectors the panel of the advanced light are expected, and they implement the panel of visa and this. And these are this is the plot of the expected annual rate as a function of the mass of the binary. And finally, this is like the conclusion of the work that almost only short, short gamma, only with the short gamma ray burst composed of five black hole and the other are very low. But the estimate of the rate are according to the estimate of partition but are not more in the world so we can see more of the memory part. Well,
è possibile intervenire? È possibile intervenire? Well, can I come in? Yes. The reform. I think this is the key. The number of we have been discussing a very nice talk, but since we have some of the people who arrived late, I would like just first of all to thank José for this beautiful presentation, and in particular see the significance of this final table. We have been yesterday discussing about the fact that there are 7 different 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different class of GRB, and we have also the X-ray flash, the BDHN, the black hole supernova, the short gamma ray flash, the short gamma ray burst, the ultra short, which one is the UGRBs, black hole supernova, we have to find, and then the gamma ray flash. Maybe we have to present them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There has been added also, I think, the which one it is? The gamma ray, which one? In the names, which one is the 8th one? I repeat, X-ray flash and BDHN go together. then black hole supernova is an additional one.
Ultra short black hole supernova that this table haven't seen.
We cannot hear very well. Can you please put the
The A because the ultra short and we are split in the ultra short coming from VPHM and ultra short coming from black hole supernova. So the mass of the black hole is different.
yes, yes.
The difference.
Therefore, the black hole supernova est ultra short GRBs. And then we have to make clear that this is an easier way to represent this. Anyway, the gamma ray flash, to make clear, is a white dwarf in presence of a neutron star. It's not so starting from the bottom. And this, from the point of view of LIGO, this table gives you the updated LIGO. It's not so. This table corresponds to the number of sources observed per year. Can I have the n dot GRB, n dot observed GRB? What is the difference between these two n dot? The number per year of GRB and the number per year of observed. What it means? What is the difference? Hello? And then can you please we have to make this thing transparent to everyone. Therefore, okay, can you
say? Yeah, the first is the intrinsic rate. So the first is the intrinsic rate of GRB, while the second is the observed one. So the observed one is lower because of the question of the thresholds on observational bias.
And how can you tell the real one? What is the difference? I'm not the GRB and the observed. I thought the observed one is the key point.
Well, the observed one is the observed one. The intrinsic is the one computed by Marco.
Excuse me?
The intrinsic one is the one computed by Marco.
On which basis?
It's the one computed by Marco.
I understand I understand the one computed by Marco, but what it means, the observed one are the observed.
Yes.
Observed flash, BHN.
Are observed in gamma ray.
In gamma rays. And the n dot, instead, what it is? The first.
It's the total number we expect of GRBs, but some of them cannot be observed.
You mean if we were with detector particularly the total number which actually is occurring independently of the observation.
That's the first, yes.
Yes, but why we see BDHM 14? There are many more of 14. I mean, they are of the order of 300 or whatever.
No, but this is per year. These are per year. It's not total number.
Okay, therefore what you are saying now is that that is the number for a year observed.
Yes.
Therefore, if you look between 1997 and 2014, you have to multiply this quantity by 15 or whatever, and then you reach 300. Is this that you are saying? Yes, roughly.
Yes. Yes, roughly, yes.
Therefore, that is the number per year observed, that one, here, in this time period. Okay, and now the other one is the one which you expect independently of the extrapolating from the detection angle of our satellites. Is this the point?
Yes, yes.
If you were omnidirectional. And
that's right.
not related, well, I mean, this has to be explained properly. And why you say that BDHN, black hole, supernova, X-ray flash are undetectable, you say that on the ground of that diagram, which shows the LIGO and LISA and the number of sources, if I understand correctly.
Yes, they are undetectable.
They are undetectable from the instrument that we have up to now as extrapolate to the most advanced vehicle.
Yes.
I would like to capture the attention of Roy to try to. Okay, we have this different class of GRBs, and the column n dot per year gives actually the number of sources of this kind observed every year. Okay, but since the instrument are only looking at part of the sky, the number of sources all over are the first column here. There are much more. From the point of view of gravitational waves, what counts is not so okay. From the point of view of gravitational wave, what counts is the first one, because the angle is not relevant.
Yes, it's the first one.
Is the first one. Therefore, this is a very, very important information which gives the number of sources per year in GRB for each one of these family. And now let's try to understand this. The BDHN, there are many, but they are not detectable from the detectors as we have today. The short gamma ray flash, instead, we should have a large number between 58 and 248, and the short gamma ray flash are just two neutron stars which go around each other, of course in a binary, but they don't form a black hole. They form a more massive neutron star, okay? And this one, there are many, there are quite a lot of them, and in principle, they should be detectable. And depending on the status today, or from 2022 on, assuming that Virgo and LIGO keep developing, we should eventually observe per year, one every 10 years of this. but it's not interesting from the point of view, it's of course interesting, but it's not interesting from the point of view of black holes, because it will be just two neutron stars merging in a neutron star. And reasonably speaking, you will expect from 2022 on, if the detector develops, one every 10 years, two every 10 years. Of this other source, short gamma ray bursts, which are the most interesting, the one forming a black hole, two neutron stars forming a black hole. Okay? This is a real event, interesting. But the number of sources which you will observe theoretically is 8 every 10,000 years. One every 10,000 years. I mean, not for our civilization. One every 10,000 years. If you look at these sort of sources, ultra-short gamma ray bursts, why you expect 600? They have not yet been observed. How you extrapolate to 600? Okay.
That is the rate of binary neuron hypernovae. Assuming that 100 of VDHN, assuming that 100% of them feel bound.
Assuming that
that
one, namely, is the second phase after, okay, when the BDHN is formed, if you are left with a black hole and a neutron star, if it happens, but we should expect so many, and in that case, we should optimally, after 2022, we should see every 7 years one. But from the new detectors. And then the ultra-short GRP are the one that we hypothesize to be similar to the BDHN. And again, is the number now is every 30 years, but in 2022 maybe one every this from black holes, once every 30 years. And gamma ray flash instead are not detectable anyway. Therefore, if we may summarize, the only hope to see gravitational waves from GRBs, the only hope is to find short gamma ray flash, namely two neutron stars going around each other, not today, but in 2022. Today, as of today, is O3, if I understand correctly.
Today is O3, yes.
O3. Therefore, with the detectors of today, the merging of two neutron stars will be visible one with today, one every 100 years. Therefore, it's completely a different. Well, this is the fact. If you based on black holes which are formed, which we see electromagnetically. This is the crucial point. Is everybody clear or not? Can you repeat everything? Can you repeat everything? Excuse me. In Princeton, we used to give the professors the exam, formulated exam. And at the end of the exam, before giving to the student, all the professors who had prepared the exam had to solve the exam, which was one of the most frightening moments for us, that you are free to give problems, but then the professors should go in another room and solve the problem. Now, you have been listening, the students have been listening, but the professors have to repeat everything. Can you do it? I'm sure you can. Okay, do it.
First of all, this is not exam. This is
No, but it's more serious.
From the students.
This is much more
Of course,
serious.
but
It is valid for the
let me
exam.
summarize what I understood from this table. And from this table, we see that short gamma ray flashes are the most
What is it?
easy to see today, and this O3 run means that we have roughly 20,
Yes,
1 in 20
there is a
years.
question by Professor K.
Oh, but since
But
last time-
this is, be careful, because from now on I will do that, okay?
Are these the estimates for the observing the electromagnetic flashes?
No,
or something?
no.
These are
The electromagnetic flashes are this one. This one, namely, we see, here we see one per year, but it's between 2006 and 2014. Therefore, from 6 to 14 is 8 years. Therefore, you see 8. We have seen 8 in this time period, one per year. Therefore, the integral in that period is 8. This one, the short gamma ray flash, we see 3 per year on a period of 9 years. Therefore, we have seen 27 up to now. And in these other cases, which are the most fortunate, you see 14 per year. 14 per year means at least more than once a month. More than once a month over all that period of time. Therefore, these are the ones which you see electromagnetically. Now, you ask the question, standing the gravitational wave emission which we have been studying, standing that, okay, how many you would expect to see in gravitational waves? Because now we know of each one of these, we know the distance. We know how much, we know everything. We know the mass, we know everything. And we know how many we observe. At least once a month, the one and the other one. Therefore, all together, in the last, up to the last year, we have observed 700, how many? 700 GRPs. Okay? All together. Which is quite a large number. But then you ask how many, making the theory of the detection, we should expect. Okay? And the best case is 1 every 10 years in 2022 with the new detector. Okay? But with the new detector, okay? But not forming black holes.
when the LIGO claims to have seen a black hole merger,
Yes.
was there no gamma ray flash?
No, was nothing. Was not signal of anything. No signal of anything. No electromagnetic signal.
Yes.
Of course, you can say, well, they were looking, this is the difference between the first table and the second one, because the electromagnetic look locally, but still, if an energy so big would be the fraction should go to electromagnetic. Is that clear? Therefore, this set the stage a little bit for. And now we cannot afford the luxury not to force to make this public. We have difficulty because these LIGO people are blocking the publication. They publish only the things that they think they are favorable to them. This is unacceptable. But we have published some of this is published, and something more will be published in the coming weeks. Okay. Okay, I think it was interesting to have the feedback. There is any other question from the students?
No, it's more like a comment that I have that now by looking at the presentation in this way, I see that we have to improve the table to put it more explicit.
Exactly.
Think about
Well,
that.
I am using the feedback from Roy because he's an extremely educated person, but at the same time, he can tell us how much we are transparent in communicating. And his help is very important to us.
Well, it's clear to me.
Hello, can you hear me?
Just a
Hello?
Yes?
Okay, it's very
It is Massimo. Look, I will say that, yes, good morning. I want to tell you that more than, I will simplify this table to make it understandable. So in other words, a reader has to look at the table and understand immediately how many sources of gravitational wave are expected in 100 years rather than 10,000 years from each gamma ray burst type. This is a little bit complicated, and I could understand, I could go through it after your explanation line by line, but of course the reader cannot take advantage of your explanation, as only to trust the table. So I would recommend to simplify this. Okay?
Well,
This is what I think.
simply, I mean, you have been saying this over and over, but simplifying does not mean to make a system which is very complicated, to kill the system in order to become simple. I mean, this is we have to find a compromise because the system is intrinsically, they are 8 different classes. Therefore, people have to understand that. And if they understand that, then they can do an understanding. Maybe you are right to make it a table more global, but the point is that nobody, even you, I mean, have spent time in understanding all the different classes that we have introduced
Wait a minute. Maybe I can explain myself very well. I will try once more. I didn't suggest to simplify the scheme. I didn't say that. I'm saying that to understand, for example, that we have a detection of gravitational wave for a system number 5 once in 10,000 years. It was not so obvious immediately. I think that you can write this one event in 10,000 years, so it is not for our civilization as you expressed. Maybe by adding a colon or just in simple way. I can have a look and understand immediately which are the systems that will provide me a gravitational wave detection in the next 10 years or in the next 10,000 years. I didn't suggest to simplify the physics of
I appreciate, because myself, in order to present O1 or 2 or 3 2022, I had to spend some time to explain to the student. Did you understand?
Exactly.
But I think we can put the last column saying, assuming optimal extrapolation of LIGO and Virgo, from 2022 on, we expect one every 10,000 years. Just this.
Perfect.
Last information.
Exactly. Yes.
Without looking at, I mean, if in the optimal, in 2022 is 1 over 10,000 years, does not make any difference to put a 1 or 2 or 3. Of course, it will be much worse. For each one, now we have to wait. We can give them the chance to go to 2022. And if you go to 2022, assuming that there is money to go for the next 5 years, then, and technology, then this is what you expect, once every 10,000 years. Yes, I agree, this can be an easier way. Yes. What do you think, Jorge and Jose?
Well, there was a previous version of this table in which we in fact tried to simplify the numbers to put in more convenient units, because I think that the thing that is confusing here are all the powers of 10. And then we decided, I don't know why, I don't remember, maybe to put in a uniform way all rates in annual detection rate. So all of them per year, and that is why it is so strange to read that. But yes, I agree that we can put the numbers in a better way, and maybe.
It's not the number per year, but the year for detection.
Yes, okay.
Yes, but you can leave just the year for detection for 2022 standard, and waiting time for a detection from 2022. Year for detection from 2022. You are the column. That way everybody can read. It's not this that you were saying, boy. Year to wait for signal starting from 2022. I think that will be, no?
Yeah. I'm still not clear. What we've got that is the probability on the right. What is the right-hand column there?
Okay, O1.
I see.
O1 means LIGO and Virgo up to now.
Yeah.
O3 means this improvement they are making now, this year. They just started.
Yes.
O3 just started. And in 2022, they reached this. Therefore, today, in the past, you would wait for 3,000 years. Here, for 800 years, and this, if you go on, it will be one every 20 years. 100 years. 100, yes, but we should put a new table, number of gravitational, not the number per year, which is not transparent, but the waiting time for detection. Okay? Therefore, forget about this. The last one is we give them the best possible detector and see what can we detect. How much we have to wait, waiting time for the detection.
Well, if it's 10,000 years, you're not going to see one.
No, I mean, it's not so because after all, we are still seeing things on the earth done 4,000 years ago, namely the pyramid. We still see them. Of course, the pyramid was created and people can look for 4,000 years, but they cost nothing. Therefore, to see. But renewal, it will be very hard to convince any politician to keep this instrument running for 4,000 years to the next civilization in order to see one of these objects. I mean, this is the key point. Pyramids have been done, created, 4,000 years later we see them. You can say, well, they were built for posterity, but this they should run continuously with all these people doing tricks. I mean, they were very kind to make tricks and show things, but now if you look at the natural way, not the tricky way, they should put in a proposal to keep going for 4,000 years.
Yeah, that would be stupid.
Well, I'm saying we are in a moment which to ask people to look at reality has become very difficult. This is the point. They keep creating a world which are nonsense, artificially with TV, press release and things, which are irrelevant to reality. But they should face what they are doing. When I tell them that they are doing something incredibly bad, they don't listen, they just stop. It's easy for them to cut the publication, to refuse the publication, to refuse to look at reality. It's easier to guarantee. And this is a disaster, the way the publication system is working. You just need a group of people, make a big proposal, and then shelter the proposal. With 1,000 signatures. And of course, each one of them, if you ask each one of them, if he knows what he has written, he does not know. This is the point. I mean, out of the LIGO collaboration, people who know what they have done, they are less than 10. But there are 1,000 signatures, and each one of them has received the bakshish money of 2,000 euro, just to keep going. Anyway, let's talk about the physics. Ok, come andiamo? How are we doing? Carlo, chi è il prossimo?
Sì, c'è Camillo.
Ah, va bene.
Camillo e Camillo.
Sentiamo Camillo. Ok. Camillo took his PhD with us from Ferrara. In the beginning, they were quite pessimistic, and then he has flourished marvelously. And the thesis has become spectacular, and he has a postdoc already. Can we hear Camilo?
Yes, hi. Everyone?
Good.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Okay, my name is Camilo, Real. I studied first year of Ratti, and collaborate with part of our team.
Just to be clear, he's looking at the lens not from one galaxy, but from clusters of galaxies. This is the most advanced topic in global cosmology, and they are the best group, particularly in the world. With the advisor, Professor Ratti. Yeah.
Okay. So, I'm going to talk about the spectroscopic study, the inner core of mass class, and also the physical properties of high-resolution data. So, what do we have now? Okay. First, this is like an introduction, no? The galaxies is always in our mind. We were afraid of Bego, and try to say that in this kind of galaxy we study ideas on the map. Now they know that there is structure the cosmos where the galaxy clusters are the nodes. So maybe how can Bego needed to have the mind clear about okay. So now this is the actual context of the optical telescope that we have. So here, for example, there are the PNT, the data of the whole system. This is going to be the Indian that telescope. We have also the telescope in space. So this is the telescope that we, and this is the tech and nowadays that the 400 years is very good. But by using the galaxy cluster as a cosmic telescope, we are putting an effect. Because this is something that is very important. Because by using our telescope, we have some limitation where we just go nowadays until the apparent mass is 30, and just can reach the now for the lines that the frequency maximum versus 20 of the mass. So if we can use other objects, in this case the galaxy cluster as a lens, we can go forward. It doesn't matter the instrument that we have. So it's very important to understand the lens set, the galaxy cluster, and also what we can do with that. So Hubble Space Telescope is now 27 years old. I think for me it's a milestone in human life, like friends when we arrive to the moon, compared with that, of course. See the universe, you know, the different interference of the atmosphere, you could see the brilliant light that's in the air. And this is below, there are the filters that were linked with the photonics one analysis from the Flash program. So you can see cover the UV, the optical counterpart, optical part, and the division of the near infrared. Okay. So here there is how we could to increase
the detection of the average universe from the time in the universe and from the time our time. So in the 90s, around with the Indian Big Bang. After that, the snake time found the field, the first open field was around 1,100 band, and later on there was the camera power based on and which ranged around 7. There was this program that the name is Clash, and all programs that they become to use the cluster, the galaxy cluster as a lens. So by using the gravitational lens effect, it can go forward. So there was this limit nowadays that is raised 11. And we expected that in the end well we can go forward. So this is important because we can know exactly how is the radiation process, and also we can know how is the process of the formation of the first galaxies. We have to know that we have this big land in 2011, 1,000 feet. So the number of population for the 40 population that we can carry from Big Bang. And now what's happening from galaxies start that the loss of the population from you have to black formation that will go that way. You have the optics there. So it's saying that it is there are many things to do with observation or simulation. The character they communicate. Also, once they objective of the intelligence is that we will understand here. So one of the main interest is to understand better of the transformation identity in the universe. We have to know that also speaking, there was a moment that we can all know, there was a moment that they stop, they become to stop. But there is a lack of information, the low luminosity to the beginning. So, when we are going to speak, find the standpoint, the characteristic. We don't have so much information, we have only much sources at the same level that we can know exactly how the community represents forward. So, with lenses, we can go forward, but we can go also to find these same sources. So, this is all of it So, galaxy clusters nowadays can reach masses around 10 to 15. The big objects in the universe, your clarity. Illuminated global stellar matter with 85 to 90%. Density 50% of gas, varies. And there is time one star that is what we call the light path. There is a type of information that we have to galaxy. So, this might be well known in Google Galaxy, like here, the optical part, here again, as the big galaxy, the eye is kind of function. So, the eye is the PPP, like the galaxy, and that's the eye. for that. And by lensing. And this is the trace that the sun. So, this is interesting to see, but this is just the night part. So the matter part is connected with the light. Here the flash program was 25 closets. So the program was 524 bits, was more than 1,000 hours of the day completed. And the BNP was observed 13 of these closets. We have a kind of between 600 to 1,000 members of this cluster. And these groups are some clusters that have star formation activity in the big age. It's something interesting to analyze. I'm working nowadays when we research in these clusters. The fourth is cluster, mass 12 of this, versus 44. However, there is this cluster here at the top here. I will do one. That is interesting, so in the border or not, that definitely to be a black hole is something that something interesting to understand the relationship between the black holes and the galaxy. So this is the position of the star of the cluster, depends on the north, so you can see also the combination of the whatever the location, for example, in Mars, Earth, and like the north, so it helps to know what kind of combination you have to that. So this is now we can see when our program to be okay. It was a program with like 200 hours with the instrument. And now we have data, so this is data that is the type and what the way the data the space. So this is the concept now, so we have here we have the galaxy. The rotation of the center of the cluster, the reflection, and here, so you can see multiple images of the edges of the galaxy, and also there is a magnification in the black. So this is the important. Of course, the brightness is always concerned, so the magnification in the black area is. So for this reason, they said that the galaxy clusters are called intelligible, but focusing the center. So here, the description was all cluster was not the proposed thing. It can be multiple, is 8, for example, family 8.2, 8.1, 8.3 is a family of less galaxies. It's the same galaxy that was less than 5 clusters. This is other family, because family. The G1, G2, this is the brightest cluster, this cluster, this is a kind of nerve cluster, this is a component of the iron. And with the first study, just by using data, when we follow this cluster. So we can do this called the magnification mask. So by effect of the lensing is by this cluster, we can see in each point we have a magnification value. So source that the lens is going to be increased in the magnification value. So this is the values and depends on the redshift. So the magnification value also depends on the redshift that you pick the map. And we're gonna, in this case, we have magnification between 1 to 10. So we
You can see how the black is. So we can build this plot that shows us the importance to use the galactic cluster as a coordinate telescope. We will join all of the neighborhood information that we have, some quantification maps doing by our group, and doing by our group that we then between the different institutes. And here there was the comparison between there is a thin field signals. So in the same instrument, a thin field. So the black and the yellow one, as the range that you can see is a full magnitude. So we reach around 920, just created the field by this instrument. When we put the galaxy clusters at a cosmic telescope, we can we put all lengths, the structural length, we can reach minus 15. So we are reaching 100 times more fibers. We can reach 1 to 6. So, because the people have this limitation. Okay. Also, I put the galaxy, the working inside. I read, but in our case, in our sample, we are analyzing galaxy 1, 6, and the galaxy close. So, 3.3 and 3.8. So, in this case, you can see how we can go fainter. And this is, for example, the limit, the last one, the magnitude 30 limit can reach this HST. And the information that we got that view, and we can use this information to help to build a more precise transformation density in the future at the low to the case. So this is what the result. Of course, we need to be very careful in the value of the magnifications. So now we are doing better magnification maps associated with this length clusters, represented by this cluster, to be sure about this. So use something new for integral fields to prosperity. Also, if you so also we can go to form the cluster and more precise to be in this case the tensor. We are seeing complete that. It will be but it's high spectral resolution. You see the 5.3 ampere set. We can see the associated vision line. Test velocity spectrum can go to 130 meters per second. So the concept is that you can have every pixel of one spectrum up and light associated with this length forward. So this is the now here the image plane draws for each pixel and create a spectrum. So in the case of PIMOS, we put some slit and we go to spectrum. But was before. Now we can go to data and we can select the region that we like to know what is the spectra and light width. Was not the case of PIMOS that we just select some slit and we analyze the spectrum. Now we have all information. So this is this kind of emission lines associated with lens galaxies. There are some cases that which be 1, 2, and 6. And also that's how we see image. And the lines at the skyline. So it was interesting because in this cluster is more mental talent. Remember that we just time we just treatment through the family electrical axis. At this point, that in this very important result we have the limit of the record of the number of length galaxies that have been discovered in one cluster. It's something that we have around the world. It's something very important. So we reached 36 number of length particles. And this is the record for all the clusters. So this is something we have more precision in our magnification maps, all of the precision that we have to do that our machinery is better. Now we have this. So now this is the lengthened galaxies over this cluster. So now you can see how it's more full of lengthened galaxies that was before the case that I showed before. Fine, it was the same cluster, but now we have more lengthened galaxies. So the model is better because we need to help to fit the model, we need this length galaxy. So if the number of the galaxies with the spectroscopic range increase, the length molecule will be there. Okay. Now, I'm in the class of analyzing this. So, for the fix, we identify new cluster methods. So this is the field of view, yellow one, where the field of view of view over the field of view of the H field. So you can see how we can go in the coordinates, really go until the diagonal in the parallel. And we can differentiate galaxies at a radius of 10 kiloparsecs. So it's something very interesting. And also we have information for existing the photometric member cluster. And we could prove that our model to select the photometric member galaxy has a completeness around 95%, and also probability of 97%. So it is very important to have this spectroscopic information in level to know, help us to identify the member cluster or the photometric cluster that we have a spectroscopic information. So here is the context of this cluster. The famous was reach the cluster center distance. Okay, now the difference. So, that's information can get about the cluster center distance, the radio of the system. So we can see how the blue one is the core of the cluster that we have reviewed. And now we can see how we increase the information in the core compared in when we going out to the house cluster. So this is the first time that we go to have the understanding of the cluster, the inner core of the cluster. Then into the data. So here we have the histogram show us we already have new 41 new member clusters by the new, and we got the population that we did before we did 23. So we have a kind of half of the member cluster that we know that they cluster. Also, we are reaching in the closest objects magnitude for the traffic, and we have these tensors in the bottom. So this is the kind of spectrum we have. So it's pretty clear to find it and to get the indication of type galaxy, type galaxy. This is the soup, you can see the calcium lines, so it's the populations. and also you can see the HT cutout. Here there is something interesting that we discovered the PCB of this cluster. It was also noticed with other versions, but not at this level of resolution. So there is an transformation activity in this PCB, and we go to the image that appears in the top is the power that you use integrated spectrum. So in the left, there is basically image, there is the activation that is the left, but in the right top, there is we just go to the oxygen line emission, see what happened there. So what is the kind of transformation to define the region, and we found some region that in the color HT image, LGD image, we will see. But when we go to the line image or this field view, we found that there is something there. So now we are understanding what is the physical phenomenon. So this is very important. This is the point of view, the beginning point of beginning. So we type the pictures and later we go talk with the people that work in simulation with the physical model in the case to understand what happened. Here also we have cases in the galaxies, Star Wars galaxies, you can see in the view of HST. Here there are more examples. This is spirals, galaxies. And you can see the spectra. This is very important because we are talking about high quality spectra at red 0.44, and we identify value line. So we can make it difficult to galaxy before. In this case, it starts from the galaxy that we have lines in the same cases of this start from galaxy, which is the closest 414 relation the title, where this data were reaching many objects in the closer, so we can understand also how the physical object, the galaxy, at the same level. So this is the kind of the spectra. Here after one B, so B would every time, one time it is just to check the spectrum. And there is one case, for example, this unexpected. I'm going to show you with the electric video that was spectral view, there is the image. And there is galaxy population of the length galaxy and also the galaxy that. So this is a spectrum that have at the same time, you can see the spectrum, the information of the galaxy that is member of the cluster, that is very tight, lines. And also, at the end of the spectrum, we see this emission line that was not touched the galaxy. So later, we find that this is a oxygen line for the galaxy at its spreadsheet of 1.4. So it was less than it was. So it's amazing because you can see in the spectra, you can see the also the length galaxy. So you need to be very careful with what we can light. Okay, we have also indication like that kind of lines, emission lines. So for example, this case is 5.7 blocks that it's individual with the insertion times n. It's very important. No? The IREX, we try, and there we try to understand what the residential time is. But we know that the residential time is the end about 5.7. So we can gauge the time line. And also it's in the magnitude same. So we have also, this is a laser family, and it's a galaxy, and they were same next galaxy. And now I'm going to show, after we go this spectroscopy or the object or without the closer, we have the length galaxies. It's the moment that we analyze. So in the team, we define, so I'm the person that is interested in understanding the physical properties of the galaxy, understand a bit more about the classification evolution of galaxies in the cluster. There are the Gaudian that is the part of the Gaudian field that they build the lensing model associated with that, with this cluster. And of course, there is a Maca, Mercury, Napoli, Naples that help us with also this galaxy population analysis, also the population analysis in each galaxy. So it's something that the data came from first from field to have the spectroscopic identification, and later the data goes deeper analysis. And also have the automatic information, so they can do acidity picking, the spectroscopic picking, and at the end we can assume the information. In this case, we can see the limit of the sources that we have in the core. This is the spectroscopic one, and here the black one is the most heavy galaxy cluster. And you can see how we're reaching some states that are saying that how we're reaching things and so. Here was the resume of all of the objects that we had. We can identify the corresponding regions, let's galaxy between 2.5 to 1.5. It was a carbon 4 H2, and there are like Raman affirmation of 6, and the cluster member at around 0.4. So we have this type of galaxy, very type 4 cluster. Also here this was the way that we cut out the member classes of the redshift. So we use selection of the strength of the PCT appears in the center at the beginning, and we are moving across the cluster center distance. And you can see here how the early-type galaxies are more close to the cluster, and the star-forming galaxies are going to our scales. That is again the chair. Here you can see also the color mass analysis, so you can see the star-forming galaxies, so that low mass, we found low mass galaxies. And we have here in the top the population galaxies, high masses. And also we can identify the absolute magnitude. You see that we have sources that several main sources that we identify in data. The number that appears there is indicate source that we have in our spectroscopy analysis. So if we want to know to understand the spectrum of everyone, just get the number check. And this is a plot that is color plot by looking for if we can use our spectroscopic data to identify creatively the transforming the extra tail and the early galaxy. in the for this cluster. Okay, in the higher metric analysis. At the end, you can also get the ages and the mass and the start for the few the population that is there. But it's the data happens before that we should analyze. Finally, it's not like so this is a picture that we took from the graph and placed around the castle to the right. So it means that the world that we are talking. Castle is the universe, but it pushes the castle, so we use the reflection away. And we use the rotation. And we can see also minimize some dense effect. So we touch the castle for standard. Okay,
Thank you very much, Camillo, for this beautiful presentation. Let's see if there are questions here among us. Gregory, Zizek.
We heard very badly actually, but what is BCG? You showed the galaxy, particularly BCG. What it stands for?
it's the brighter closer galaxy.
Repeat, please.
So, a brighter closer galaxy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Zizek, you have questions? Roy? Thank you again, and if there are no more questions, the next one is Massimo, I presume.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Massimo? Yes.
Maybe can we give 10 minutes break, and then at 5 to 12 we start from 5 to 12 to 12:30. Okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
We have
Carlo,
10 minutes.
Tanto vedi, dai capire le scuse, vedi Massimo quel tanto sarò io.
Let's see what happens.
No. Io cos'è che devo fare per mandarti la presentazione?
No, non devi mandare niente.
Let's hope.
Abbiamo anche Carlo all'Argentina che ha un constraint forte che a luna puntuale deve andare via. Quindi in principio posso fare sotto di lui o no?
Possiamo?
Si proverà.
Possiamo cominciare? Se per voi...
Non è questo.
Sì?
Per voi sarebbe un problema se parla prima Carlo? Perché lui a luna deve andare in aeroporto puntuale e non so se ce la facciamo con tutte e due.
Va bene, ma questo di cosa è più urgente? Nel caso Carlo lo facciamo più tardi in pomeriggio, ma adesso questo di Massimo è veramente urgente.
E vediamo se ce la facciamo.
Vabbè, tu se ce la facciamo, cominciamo subito con Massimo.
Va bene, ok.
Va bene.
Bene, andiamo avanti allora?
Sì.
Eccomi qua, ok?
Ok,
I'm starting right now. Okay, this is the summary that I'm going to present you.
Vedete di seguire attentamente, Carlo, di seguire attentamente.
Okay, I will start with a few slides on the measurement of omega m obtained by supernovae. Then I will point out the problems due to the supernova systematics that require an independent measurement of omega m. So the measurement, I will present the measurement of omega m obtained with gamma reversed, and we sketch out some future development. Okay, in principle, to measuring the cosmological parameter is something is relatively simple. What we need is to measure the velocity and the distances for a class of cosmological objects, and to plot one versus the other, as we see here in this plot. And, and what we obtain, the tool that I just pointed out is called a Hubble diagram. And this has a simple expression that relates the apparent magnitude and maximum with the absolute luminosity. Now, for an object high redshift, the distance becomes luminosity distance, and for a given redshift, the luminosity distance depends on the value of omega n and omega lambda. K is the Bego Rencontre, basically a constant. A is the absorption, and M is the luminosity of the object that of the class of objects that I'm observing with telescopes. Of course, I have to choose this class of astrophysical objects, not randomly, but taking astrophysical objects with a specific property, that they are not evolving sources with and they have to have, and they need to have an intrinsic luminosity. So they have standard characteristics. And in the universe, we are plenty of standard characteristics. For example, there are air layers in our galaxy, in Andromeda galaxy, and they can be used, for example, to measure the distance to Andromeda galaxy. But they are very faint, so they are useless for cosmological goals. Here there is a more detailed sketch of what I mean for well, this is the definition of luminosity distance, and that you see here that how the model of universe became very sensitive at high redshift according to the different value of omega n and omega lambda. And this also shows to you why, when I'm observing standard candles in the local universe, I can use these standard candles to measure H0 without worrying about the cosmological effects, because the three tracks at low redshift collapse each other, while they become sensitive at high redshift. So we need to find this population of non-evolving sources having a fixed intrinsic luminosity at all redshift. And the problem is to find a class of objects that are bright as galaxies. That's why, for example, RRI cannot be used, because the RRI are used for standard candle inside of the local universe galaxies. But to go at cosmological distances, we need to observe standard candles. They have to be as bright as the galaxies themselves. But they do not evolve. We require that they do not evolve. And for example, the old papers by Alan Sandage in 1976, for example, he found the value of the deceleration parameter of 1 plus minus 0.5. Please compare with the current value, they did minus 0.55. So what was wrong? not of the methodology, that is pretty simple, but the fact that he did his best by assuming the galaxies themselves are standard candle. But this is not true. Today, we know that it's not true. We have seen this, for example, from the previous talk by Camillo, that the galaxy have a stellar population that evolve with time. There are episodes of merging, and all this evolutionary effect destroy the concept of standard candle. And so there was only in the 90s that we were able to, let's say, to pinpoint a class of very bright and not evolving objects, the Taiwanese supernova that we have, that we can use as standard candles. And that was the reason, and using those objects, it was possible to find that supernova Z0.5 are dimmer than expected, and I underline this expected because they are standard candle, or better, they can be standardized with the Phillips relation. And this is a technical details that I will not discuss, by 0.25 meters. So that means they are more distant than expected. And that was the reason, and the reason of that was because the acceleration, because the universe was accelerating its expansion. And these are the two values, 0.7, 0.3, the values that we found. Of course, now there is a problem, because cosmological interpretation relies on the lack of evolutionary effect on progenitors Taiwanese supernova. I didn't, since I don't have any feedback and I don't see you, can you hear me?
Sì, come no? Perfettamente.
Hello?
Yes.
Yes, you can hear me very well.
We can hear you very well. Of course, it would have been better to see you in
and these are a source of possible supernova systematics. Currently, we don't know the nature of the progenitor systems. Basically, I had the chance to talk several times in front of you. I was showing that the progenitors of Taiwanese supernovae can be formed by the coalescence of two white dwarfs. That was a double degenerate scenario, or single degenerate scenario in which a white dwarf accrete material from a low mass mid-sequence star. Then we don't know the explosion mechanism. For sure, it could be detonation, deflagration, delayed detonation. Could be a subchandra explosion. We have plenty of models about that. So, or superchandra. Also, the light curve shape correction, so the Phillips relation, which allow us to standardize Taiwanese supernovae, has been calibrated on supernovae in the local universe. And now we extrapolate that Phillips relation, local Phillips relation, works also at high resolution. Then there are minor effects like the anomalous reddening and contamination around the diagram by bright Taiwan supernova, which do not follow the Phillips relation. So as you see, there are a number of effects, possible effects, that go into what I call, go into the class of systematic errors, which I define as an offset from the truth. And what is dramatic is that this offset from the truth do not decrease as when I increase the sample. That it works well for random error, but not for this kind of errors. And so the conclusion is that one is always left with systematics, even when I increase the sample of objects. And just to give you a taste of the consequences of this, is that if the offset from the two is only 0.1 magnitude, the confidence contours of supernovae move from here, where you see this one, go here. And it makes difference to know if we live in a universe with omega n 0.3 or omega n 0.6, for example. This is a diagram that I had prepared many years ago by putting together the best Taiwanese supernovae observed from ground in the space telescope. You know, a sort of golden sample. And if you look at the distribution of data points, you can clearly see that the cosmological track is well defined, and we respect at least to all the others, that you see dust and pollution and blah blah. But what happened today? Look at this. After even 10 years ago, the situation became dramatic because we were increasing the number of objects, but the strength of the signal it didn't increase at all. Maybe it was getting worse. And as a result of this, for example, in 2016, there was this paper on this on Nature, this scientific reports, in which they conclude that there was a marginal evidence for cosmic acceleration from Taiwanese supernovae. And this is the result, this is the core, the main plot of their paper, in which basically they show that this increasing the number of supernovae doesn't help too much. For example, compared with the previous one. So basically, we are crashing against a systematic wall. I have to tell also this. My criticism to this paper is that all the sample you see of supernovae basically is the boundary is at Z1, while the cosmological signal is clear, is better appreciated after Z equal 1. So, but however, the systematic wall is certainly there. What in these last years, when together with Lorenzo Amati, we were trying to prove is that the gamma ray burst today has the capability to change the experimental methodology. That is the only way to avoid, or at least to keep under control the systematic errors.
Well, just a moment. Just to make clear, we have been working since we have been working with Pisani at least for 6 or 7 years on this topic. Please be fair. Thanks.
Yes, but sorry, you will see that that I didn't. I will not mention any one of these people because all these people I have just look. I have just selected a short sample because the number is much more larger than this.
No,
but
excuse me. Working on a standard candle with the GRB is not very long. Our point of view is unique. Therefore, please don't mix up with all these other things. These people have no idea what to look for in GRB to make a cosmological calendar. Thanks.
Wait a minute. Okay. My point is that gamma ray bursts are not cosmological standard candle. Okay? That's why I didn't mention a kind of, but if I have longer time, if instead of having 25 minutes, I would talk as we be in China for 45 minutes, be sure that I will go through that.
Don't lose time, but mention the work that we did. Okay?
I will mention.
Don't lose time.
But I will mention, but it's not in this, is not in this slide. I'll show you then a slide in which it is mentioned, but I will not show in this presentation, but it's at the end as a hidden slides, because I have no time. My point is the following. All the papers that you see here and others try to extend the Hubble diagram at z larger than 1.5. As I showed you before, Taiwanese supernovae can cover the Hubble diagram up to z 1.5. If you, all these authors want to extend this Hubble diagram at z 5, 6, 7, 10, where gamma ray bursts can be observed. So they calibrate.
Excuse me, but we found a BDHN at z equal 8, not a 5, and we have published.
And so, I don't care about this. Excuse me, I'm just saying that we are not interested in studying the Hubble diagram from Z 1.5 or Taiwanese supernova up to Z10, because that means propagate the systematic of Taiwanese supernova or gamma ray burst. I'm not talking about your paper, I'm talking about the paper that you see here. They calibrate some gamma ray burst in the overlap region of brushes to extend this Hubble diagram up to Z10. Myself and the rest
They don't know what they are doing, because we work in finding a BDHN very well specific with supernova signature at z equal 8. It's published observationally.
Yes, and what is the value of omega n that you find?
We are working on this, but if there is a paper which has seen a supernova BDHN as equal 8, it's our paper, and all these papers are totally irrelevant.
Porca miseria, adesso però, scusa un attimo, perché ho appena finito di dire che non posso fare un review talk su questa cosa. I cannot do a review talk on this. I will do that in China, be sure. Here is just I want to show how we can measure omega m with gamma ray burst independently of Taiwanese supernova. I show this small sample of papers that use, I may be there wrong, I'm not interested in this, but they claim to use gamma ray burst for cosmological study to tell to all of you that we are not doing what they claim to do.
Okay, now it's better.
In other words, to
you have to say that these people claim to have done something, but we don't share that with you.
Of course, they are not interested. They don't. No one of those people publish a value of omega n. They claim to study the trend of a cosmological parameter by calibrating some GRBs in the overlap region, so they can extend up to Z10, where you observe gamma ray burst, the Hubble diagram. In our opinion, in my opinion, but I think is shared by Lorenzo as well, this approach is not correct, because that means to extend, to propagate the systematic supernovae to gamma ray burst. So we have decided to do something different, not to extend the gamma ray, but to provide a measurement of omega n. And that's why I talked here about our result. And to do this, we use the Amati relation. That is, there are a lot of relations.
Well, I mean, this Amati relation we have shown does not work for gamma ray burst. We have shown explicitly that there are many relations and not only the Amati relation. We have shown that there is a family of 8 gamma ray bursts. We have shown that. And we have shown also that the Amati relation is not general. And therefore, it's not clear to me why you are repeating this Amati relation. Please refer to the paper we have published. The different 8 family of GRP.
Enrico, now please, if you tell me that a Amati relation doesn't exist, I can stop here my presentation right now and go for lunch, okay? Because of this, I'm not discussing about of course, if you tell now, if I want to put here all the short, ultra short, or whatever, or all the other family short, I can easily, yes, I can fill this plane, of course. But please now, let me go further. This is what you can find is a peak versus AI relation. Now,
the only thing I'm saying, as you correctly pointed out, that the real today, 2017, the EPIC, ISO, and so forth, is not that one. There is a break which you can see by I at 10 to the 52, and then there is another things on below, and there are things over. This does not, if you want to do cosmology, it must be consistent with everything, not just with the selection effect.
But this for cosmology, these objects, for example, will never be observed a cosmological arrangement. One of the reasons for which, and I will show this, now I am almost finished, for which Taiwanese supernova works well, even if the Phillips relation is much more complex than was believed in the past, okay, is that, for example, in the, I don't have the picture here, but I will show you maybe next time, the Phillips relation was believed to be linear. Now, there are a number of data points that show that that's not true, but those data points refer to faint or ultra faint Taiwanese supernovae that we do not, that don't affect the observation of bright supernovae 1A at high ratio, because they are simply missed by our survey, because they are intrinsically faint. So, fortunately, there is a, let's say, we can sometimes, not only, but sometimes we can turn to our advantage the presence of selection of observational bias. And this is one of the cases. Now, the point is the following: in which way the cosmology enter in the cosmology in the Amati relation? Through the luminosity distance, as you see here. Okay? And now the point is the following: how we can avoid a circularity problem. In other words, we want to determine omega n, but when we measure, when you assume when you assume a certain omega n to determine the luminosity distance for enter a gamma ray burst in the plot. And we have avoided this problem working on the scatter of the relation. We have noted in our paper that omega, we can we can plot on the Ratti relation by assuming, for example, omega m equals 0, omega lambda equals 1, you get this. And then, on the other extreme, on the other boundary, omega n equals 1, omega lambda 0, like this. And then, we can plot, we can do like this, step by step, 0.01. So omega n is 0.01, omega lambda 0.99, and so on. And we can study how the scatter of this relation is modified by assuming different cosmological parameters. In other words, we introduce artificially another an additional scatter due to the cosmology that we have estimated to be less than 10%. And then if we study the trend of omega m with the scatter, we expect that when we pick up the right cosmology, the cosmological scatter due to the wrong cosmology will vanish. And it was surprising to us that even in 2008, with only 70 gamma ray bursts, immediately we found a deep minimum at omega n 0.26, and for us, we were really astonished. Because there are not any assumption on this. We didn't calibrate anything. Because gamma ray bursts, as you have shown during your presentation, are well found to be cosmological standard gamma. Because they go from 10 to 49 for the trade flash, up to 10 to 54 for the most energetic event. Now, in the last 6-7 years, we have refined the statistical methodology to compute this minimum, this fit. We have increased the number of gamma ray bursts. Now we are 150, and in China I hope to present the new plot with 172. And you see here the value of omega m that we found in the years according to the different number of gamma ray bursts. Of course, we are still far from the accuracy that can be provided by Taiwanese supernova. And but however, the typical plot that you see in literature now can be complemented by a new contours, new confidence contours to gamma ray bursts. And for the future, of course, with 300 gamma ray bursts, we are almost close to the supernova, to the supernova accuracy, and with 600, basically, we will match the supernova result. And but this is a realistic expectation. Well, with Schwarm that will fly in 2022, I was told the last week by some members of Schwarm team. I expect to find within 2027 500, not 600, but 500. And so I think we will be very close to the Taiwanese supernova. At the moment, I can just conclude by saying that the analysis of dispersion of a matrix relation without any assumption gives omega m 0.28, which is consistent with the result of Taiwanese supernova, even with an accuracy that is still lower than that obtained dal Taiwanese supernova. Finito, grazie.
Well, thank you very much, and I just would like to make more clear that I like to see all the details of this work, because I think we have precise knowledge about the role of GRB in cosmology, especially because we have identified 8 different classes of GRB. And in one class, we have also identified the possible place which can be relevant for cosmology in the BDHN, which are very different from the prompt radiation phase, in which this so-called Amati relation is valid. Therefore, I would like to make clear that we, like as ICRANet, look into this matter because it affects our own work of the last 10 or 15 years, especially in the most recent one with the study of the flare. Therefore, it's not the moment to make a discussion. I want just to make this statement and look forward to discuss with you and your collaborators. It's just a statement.
Okay, just one comment to your comment. I think that the most productive way to go through your to what you have just told us is that I will provide to Pisani or some of the other researchers the list of gamma ray bursts that we have used to make this plan. And you extract from that list the ones that are, let's say, the main, probably that here there are some, sorry, I was a bad start. In this 150 gamma ray bursts, for sure there are someone that belong to one of your 8 classes. But the main bulk is certainly represented by the class of gamma ray bursts very energetic that can be observed at cosmological ratios.
Well,
and I think we can refine our measurement just dropping from this plot the spurious objects, the ones that shouldn't be there because are not belonging to the main class. But believe me, it will not change too much.
Well, I think, if I may now not make a statement, but a suggestion to you, since you are member of ICRANet Scientific Committee for Italy, I think the best way for you, in addition to discussing, is to be present to all the days and to all the meetings that we have had. And unfortunately, you have other interest. And this, I think, is really a big mistake, because I think everybody should be present in all the discussion, like the one we had with Felix Mirabel, with the one with Felix on this matter. And you were not there. It's very unfortunate. And I don't think you have followed even on Skype. Anyway, we will have occasion to speak.
Remo, sorry, but as you know, my salary is paid by the National Institute for Astrophysics, and I'm director for a few months more. Then I will be much more time.
This topic
from
is
January, but yes, but I cannot give up to my commitment because I do what I can do. I do my best to be present at the
Okay. Nothing more. Everybody's following.
Ma non dirmi più per questa cosa perché non va bene, non è
Va bene, ma io penso che quello che sta succedendo non va bene. I'm serious. I mean, this statement that you have made, about that some of outsourcers are picked among yours doesn't make any sense. And I will show you that. Okay, thank you. We will speak later. Thank you. Okay. Pronto, Carlo?
Io vedere la mia sondata.
Scusami?
Sì, ci siamo.
Suggerirei, noi dobbiamo, tu hai un impegno a luna, mi hai detto, no?
No, Carlos.
Scusami?
Carlos.
Come? Non ho capito.
Carlos, Arguelles.
Carlo Sangueles.
Ha l'impegno a luna, infatti devo parlare adesso molto velocemente.
Va bene, allora sì, molto velocemente, va bene. Ah, non avevo capito che era Carlo Sangueles, va bene. Sì, va bene, facciamolo parlare. Pensavo a te, andiamo, facciamolo parlare.
Ok.
Ci sei, Charlie, come vedete lo schermo?
Sì, sto tratando di share screen.
Sì, dovrebbe essere arrivata la richiesta.
Carlos, è possibile farlo fra 3 o 4 ore?
Allora, cosa che vediamo 3 o 4 ore, sì, alle 11, in 3 ore.
In 3 ore, va bene, cioè in 3 ore alle 3:40 nostro tempo, va bene?
Va bene, sì, verso
rimaniamo così perché abbiamo degli obblighi qua che dobbiamo spiegare, va bene?
Sì, va bene, professore. Devo partire adesso. Bene, grazie.
E parlerà anche Gregory e le persone che devono ancora parlare cominciamo alle 3:30 ora di Pescara. Però credo che sia stato molto utile avere questo dibattito ed a chiarire subito questa situazione. Va bene, a fra poco riaggiorniamo alle 3:30. Se per voi va bene, Carlo adesso va bene per te? Olga va bene per te? Però se Olga è impegnato può andare avanti sulle sue cose, però è importante che segua 3:30. Poi ci sentiamo, io vengo lì con Roy Kerr lunedì mattina, saremo lì verso le 9:30 a Roma. E ritorniamo nel pomeriggio a Pescara. Va bene? A più tardi. Ciao. We are going to Rome on Monday morning. We will meet maybe there and then come back. Okay?
Ciao Carlo, ci sentiamo dopo un 3 ore.